The battle with the narcissist is spiritual in nature. You're battling something beyond the physical. You're battling with a demon. You're battling with evil spirits. These evil spirits or demons, they need your energy. For them to be able to start sapping your energy, they need an entrance into your life. So they need to love bomb their way into your life. You will get all the presents, the validation, the admiration, adoration. You will get all those little favors. And then slowly, you're going to be sucked in those situationships. It is going to take you a very long time for you to realize what exactly are you fighting. This thing keeps on moving, guys. Excuse me. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if it can stay here. It will take you so many years to realize what you're battling. But the moment you wake up or you snap out of it, you're already counting the losses because you realize you have lost a part of yourself. You have lost a part of your mind. You're in a very sunken state. You no longer recognize yourself. You don't even no longer recognize who you are. And before you know it, or you're trying to figure things out, the narcissist is already moved on. They're with somebody new. So that is like adding salt to the injury. Now, for the most of you guys who are battling these situations, we need to discuss. We need to discuss in detail what's going on and how are you going to deal with this? How are you moving forward? First of all, by understanding what you're dealing with, it is very important to approach this from a spiritual perspective. Because for you to win, one of the most difficult things you will ever realize is winning against the narcissist. The narcissist battles on the 3D. They battle on the physical, okay? The lies, the games, all these manipulations and everything. And they also battle spiritually, whereby they are going to actually get very deep inside your brain and they are going to hijack or take over your brain. So you no longer have control of yourself. When you have snapped out of abuse, there will be signs. A person that will just look at you, they will know that you're coming from you've been fighting something very deep. Your health will be in pieces. Most likely you're homeless. Your finances is gone. Family members gone. Your identity gone. Your personality gone. Mentally, you're in pieces. Even on a physical level, yes, you might already be struggling with different types of health issues. You might have something with your skin. You could have something with your stomach. You might have something. It could be anything. It can be a lot of things that have been going on in that situationship, and they have really damaged you on a physical and spiritual level. So you're scrambling and you're running out there to see any help you can get. Little, big, it's help, anyone you can get. So you might visit some people to help you, coaches, maybe you go to therapists, you may go to a counselor and stuff like that. And it is going to work a little bit, yes. I don't say that, you shouldn't do that. It's going to work, if you, depending on where you're coming from and also depending on your strength. So you might recognize there are some changes that are happening. You are seeing some difference, okay? It may take a lot of time. I know some people have been in therapy for years. They have been going for therapy for 2, 3+ years, okay? There's been a slight difference, but they have not actually really broken out of that mental slavery. They are still dependent on somebody to help them, somebody to validate them, somebody to speak with them and stuff like that. It can be different means. Some of the victims who have survived, they have gone to get some medication. Maybe, you're dealing with some heart issues. It could be blood pressure. It could be this way. It could be that. So they are going in different directions, getting whichever help they can get. And that's fine. But whatever it is you're doing to help yourself or to heal, you have got to really understand this thing is spiritual. The individual you dealt with or you have been dealing with, the individual has got an attachment with demonic spirits. It is not the person you've been dealing with. The person has been ushered in as a vessel to ruin your life and to destroy you. But on a spiritual level, the things that you don't see, you have been actually battling with demons. These demons, they don't recognize your wants. They don't understand your needs. They cannot understand how you feel. They don't feel anything. They don't understand anything about what you have on the inside. The only thing they wanted from you is to extract energy from you through the narcissistic individual you have been dealing with. You are going to understand that you need to do anything you can. The very first thing you do, which one of the things that many coaches have told you, get away from the problem. Is it going to be easy? No. It is not easy to detach from a narcissistic individual. This thing is like a drug. They got very deep inside your brain, and you don't know how to get that drug away from you. It's going to be hard. But anything you can do to, first of all, get away from the problem, it is going to move you one step closer to healing. Pay attention to your mental health, because I've already told you at that particular moment in time, your mental health is in pieces. Pay attention to your mental health. Pay attention to how you feel. When I was healing, I didn't know which direction to go. I actually didn't know which direction to take. So I was just kind of guessing around with things. Maybe, let me try this. Maybe it's going to work. Let me try that. Maybe it's going to work. So I had a little bit of some people that I used to know. I used to watch online back in those days. And they was recommending different types of meditation. They was recommending this. I was recommending that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try this one. So I was trying different options. Because remember that sometimes after abuse, you may not necessarily have the financial, you may not be necessarily be financially stable for you to pay for therapy or professional help to get, to get you somewhere. So I was just trying around with different things. But the very first thing what I remember I remember myself Googling, how do I break the trauma bond? A trauma bond is a soul tie with a very toxic individual, and that trauma bond is what the narcissist uses to hook themselves spiritually into your energy. So I focused on sound frequencies at the time. I focused on meditation. I focused on spending time in the nature. I focused on, all these little things that I saw, okay, let me try this, it could work. Let me even try to eat eat well. Let me try to see what I'm putting on my plate. Let me try to understand who is coming to. I was doing everything, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you guys who have been with me on the healing journey, you already know the things you have been going through for you to be able to heal. But in any of my coaching, I have not told you to go and take paracetamol. I did not tell you the paracetamol is only going to help you when you have some little headaches. Maybe you have a headache or whatever is going on, a migraine or whatever. Maybe you have some skin problems. That is why you go for the medicine and whatever, because you need that to, physically heal the body. But do you know the reason why some people did that? And in a few years or few weeks or few months, they was already back in those relationships with the narcissist to start the abuse all over again. That is because their focus was on the physical things they could do. They did not put a lot of attention and focus on the spiritual element of it. My chosen ones, you need to understand, my beautiful empaths. You do not have any idea the damage narcissistic abuse can do to a person. When you have dealt with a narcissist, you will fully understand there is evil that exists and has always existed on this plane. It's just that people didn't talk about things. Many people don't want to teach you these things. A lot of teachers will come and teach you a lot of these things about the weather, and they will tell you about these things about diet and do this and do that. They will not tell you what exactly is happening on a spiritual level. So by the time you have been able to extract yourself or to remove yourself from this situation, is when now you will understand how deep of warfare, of this warfare that you have been battling, that you was not even aware of, you was battling behind the scenes. If you're a person that is into religion, I know some people who are religious, you like your Jesus and, you read your scriptures, anything you can do. This thing is spiritual, my ladies and gentlemen. It is anything you can do. If you feel that reading the Bible makes you feel a certain way, go get out your Bible, open the scriptures, read the scriptures. If you feel you're a person who likes to do spiritual practices, you like to take your salt baths, you like to take your sage your space around the home, you like to, I don't know, whatever it is for you, what it means. Meditation, I don't know, yoga, things like that. Whatever it is that you like and you think is going to work for you, try it. The people that have battled with narcissistic abuse, they never really tell you that you're going to walk an easy path. So if you see a person who has battled this mental BS and they have been able to break trauma bonds and heal out of it, you need to respect those people. You really need to respect those people. You have got to give them a heads up. You have got to remove your heart for those people because you have no idea what they have done to heal. A person who has been fighting this battle, when you meet them and you try to play any BS on those people, they are going to put you in their place, in your own place, and they're not going to think twice. That person is going to break you before even you start. A person who has survived narcissistic abuse, they have gone through the healing and they know how much did they do to heal. You come into those people's presence, they are going to not only break you, they will crack you. You may never be able to get up from on your feet. Those people, you have got to stay very far away from them. If you have not any good intentions for those people, run very far away from them. Don't start any BS because you're going to regret the reason as to why you're trying to get into their lives, because they're going to break you. Especially if you have a lot of these toxic tendencies and they have already recognized you're toxic, they will break you. So my empaths understand that narcissists don't want us to give you this information. The more quiet the world will stay, the more easier for them and the more games they will play, because now they have more victims to abuse. So when we're putting out this information, you also need to understand they're also battling with what can I call it? They are battling with us putting out these things. They may be fighting around with our channels. Sometimes you see them on these in the comments. They are putting all these nonsense comments and everything because they are very much agitated with what we're doing. Because for them, it's like the challenge they could say, for example, they could have is having people that know what is going on. I can promise you, it doesn't matter what kind of narc you're dealing with, in whichever social status, capacity they have or they hold, the last thing they want is to hear anybody that is helping people. So the best thing you guys can do when you see these channels and you see this information or whatever, try to share these videos, Share these videos on your platforms, let the messages get out there because there's so many people who are battling and they don't even know what they're dealing with. And the more blind those people keep them in the loop, the better for them because it works for them because now they have an energy source to siphon. Okay? So, like I've said, the entire battle when it comes to abuse is one on the spiritual. It is not one on the physical. On the physical is just, okay, few things you can do here and there. Okay, maybe something, you caught an illness, you could have caught an STD and you need medications from doctors and things like that. But the entire battle to be, so that could be, I could say in my opinion, it could be 30-40% physical, but the rest is spiritual. Because when you do heal mentally, you're also going to heal physically. So even if you're doing the mental work on yourself to heal, also put in the spiritual work to heal because that is where the healing really happens and that's where the real healing, the deep healing comes from. Okay? So I don't know where you are in your journey. You may be a person who is dealing with these kind of situations. You want to book a session with me. You need some help to heal. Get in touch with me. You will find my email in the description below. You guys always know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll see you guys in my next one. Denzel Moss signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.